Hey you guys, this is Quinn601. I'm here with a new video. First off, let me give a shout out to someone who reached out to me who lives in the same city that I do in Phoenix, Arizona, that wanted to connect and possibly grab a lunch or grab a dinner and connect and meet. I think your name is I Love Rachel, your screen name for YouTube. You know what, that sounds great. We can meet up somewhere in Phoenix and have lunch or a late lunch, you know, or dinner, something like that. That sounds great. How about we exchange information via YouTube, their email system, and then once we get our personal information, then we can start contacting each other through text or personal email and try to connect. So I Love Rachel, if you see this, let's make this happen, because I would love to meet you, and I appreciate you watching my video, my last video that I did, I think back on the 15th of last month, with Love and Hip Hop, I believe. You leaving that message. So to get into this one, let's just go ahead and get into this. And first off, before we get into it, if you see shadows in here or if you hear stuff in the background, it's Mimi while she's sitting here looking dead in my face, wondering why am I sitting here and doing this. This is her. That's my little spoiled brat. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the video. This is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I don't know which episode this was, the latest episode that came out last night or whatever, with Candy Mama trying to bop Carmen in the head with the shoe. You know what? They say you're not supposed to talk about anybody's parents or their children, but I'm just going to voice my opinion about this whole situation with Candy and Mama Joyce, and I'm not going to do it in a disrespectful way and saying and like going in on her, but I'm just going to go in on her, but I'm not going to go in like nasty. But I'm going to go in on her and just give my opinion with this whole situation, because I just think this is out of control and out of hand and very trifling, and it is embarrassing the fuck out of Candy, her name, her family, and her brand all together, on how Mama Joyce is acting on the camera, and with all the shit behind how she feels about Todd. You know, I'm not a parent, but I understand the role of a parent, because I have parents, obviously. I understand the role of a parent. They're going to want to protect their child. They're going to want to protect their child to their last breath. That's just a parent's job, and that's what parents do, you know. But this whole situation with Todd and Candy, of how Mama Joyce, one minute she felt okay with Todd, then for all of a sudden she started feeling some type of way about Todd, and then she tried to use Candy's daughter as a pawn to manipulate Candy into ending her relationship with Todd. And then she comes back with, she's hearing in the streets that Todd and Carmen are sleeping together. Then she comes to Candy's moment, where Candy is in her moment of looking at wedding dresses and trying them on, and she comes there and completely like destroys that moment for Candy. And I'm like, this is just way out of control with Mama Joyce, because first, you know, true enough, she's Candy's mom. I don't know where Candy's dad is at, but that's Candy's mom, and obviously Candy's mom has been there from the beginning when Candy got her break. Okay, her mom has been there. But in my opinion, it comes to a point where you need to let your child live their life, and you just wish them the best and just hope that blessings just fall upon them and keep them out of harm's way. That's the only thing you can do as a parent, because your child is going to eventually leave the nest. And that's what I see with Mama Joyce, is that, one, because Candy is taking care of her, obviously that's Candy's that's what Candy wants to do, is to take care of her mom or whatnot, and that's fine. Who doesn't want to take care of their parents if they have that have some type of money and they can take care of their parents? Who wouldn't want to do that if your parents is there? But it seems to me that every person that comes into Candy's life that gets close to her, Mama Joyce don't want Candy to have anything to do with them. She was running off old boy, I forget his name, from a couple of seasons ago until he passed away. She drove him into his grave. That's not fair to say. I take that back. That's not fair to say. But she didn't like him, and he ended up passing away, and that took some effect on Candy and her personal life. And it took her a long time for her to open up to another man and find interest in another man. And you know, this is my thing. Whether Todd is right for her or not is nobody's decision, is nobody's place to say so or anything like that, and it's all for Candy. If Candy thinks that he is right for her, then that's fine. If we see something that's flawed or whatever the case may be, and if we decide to tell her, go, silly. If Candy Mums decides to tell her how she feels about Todd, that's one thing. But to be going off the way that she's going off with these so-called allegations of he's sleeping around, I'm like, if he's sleeping around and you know all this stuff, and you got all these people in the street that is side-eyeing him and watching him and this, that, and the fourth, and there's no ocean that's deep enough, there's no desert that's hot enough that can keep her off of him, and this, that, and the fourth, if he does wrong, and this, that, and the fourth, then whatever these accusations, present some proof. Present something. It's just like this whole text message thing with that. That's a whole nother post for me reading into that. But I'm like, Mama Joyce, present something that is like substantial, because you just can't go to court and be like, well, I heard this, that, and the fourth is happening, and you did this, that, and the fourth, because that shit ain't gonna fly. It's like, give us something concrete so we can be like, well, maybe she's right here. Maybe Todd is fooling around. But I'm not, and this is the thing here. I'm not saying that she's wrong. I'm not saying that she's right. But just how she's handling it and going about this whole situation with Todd, and how she's acting out in public to Carmen and this, that, and the fourth, I just think that she is just flat out acting a fool. I'm not calling her a fool, just like Carmen did not call her a fool. She said she's acting a fool. I think that's right. Now, people may say that Carmen was wrong or disrespectful for saying that statement, but I'm like, if the shoe fits, then take that bitch off and start swinging around and try to hit somebody, because that's exactly what Mama Joyce tried to fucking do. She took off her shoe and tried to knock her upside the head with the shoe, and then tried to turn it around as if like she called her a fool. I'm like, this is just too much right now. It's like, clearly, I'm like, Candy needs to put some boundaries up to her mom, but I know what Candy's issue is with this whole thing, is that if she stands up to her mom, then her mom is old school. Let's not get it wrong. Her mom is old school. It's like, you're not going to disrespect her if you're her child. You're not going to disrespect her. And that's where the manipulation comes in my opinion, is that it's one thing that you're being disrespectful to your parents, but it's another thing when you have to really stand up for your life and for yourself and be like, okay, Mom, I understand this, but can you just back down some? I got this. Can you just back down? If I fall and bump my fucking head and get a knot on the corner of my forehead, then let me get it. Let me bump my head and learn. It's like, that's what I see with this whole situation. It's like Candy doesn't want to say that because she feels like she's disrespecting her mom, in which I'm like, okay, I get it, but still at the same time, it's just like Carmen said, It's like, are you going to continue to let her control and manipulate your life? And that's what I see. And a lot of people are like, even my partner, he felt some type of way about the situation, and the opposite of how I felt, because I'm like, yeah, it's like, true enough, you want to say that she disrespected, I'm like, you want to say that Karma disrespected Candy's mom, but I did not see her try to, Candy's mom didn't sling her purse at Karma, but just like how Karma took out her shoe, I didn't see, Mama Joyce took out her shoe to hit Carmen. I didn't see Carmen like jump up and try to swing her purse over Candy's aunt and hit her. And I'm like, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, yes, Candy's mom is going to be there for her at the end of the day, point blank, period. But my thing is that, okay, if Candy has someone on her payroll that happens to be their friend, and she calls up on them as a friend and as an assistant to be at a spot so she can have her get their help, then okay, Mama Joyce shouldn't be telling people when to go, when to come, as if like she's paying them. And where Carmen messed up, in my opinion, is that she should have just got up, went to Candy in the back, went to Candy, be like, your mom is out there acting a complete crazy fool right now. Like, she's throwing accusations out there, innuendos out there. She's trying to read under the radar over some stuff that doesn't even have anything to do with me, but she's making it all about me. You know, I would have said that, and I'd be like, you know what? I'll be at the office, or I'll be at home, or I'll be over here taking care of this task that we need to take care of. But I'm just going to remove myself from this situation. You can call me when you're done trying on the dresses, and if you're not, and if we need to reschedule another time, that's perfectly fine. But right now, I'm removing myself from the situation. That's where I feel like that Carmen messed up. But other than that, I didn't see her. I really didn't feel like that she disrespected Candy's mom. When you like, this is the thing. When someone is, I don't care if you're male, female, young, old, black, white, whatever the case may be. It's like, I believe that a person has a right to defend themselves if someone is trying to harm you. Now, I'm not saying that she should have got up and knocked the shit out of Candy's mom, because that would have been like flat out wrong. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to sit there and let someone older than me try to knock me upside the fucking head with a shoe or a brick or anything like that. I'm going to ask for your ass to get some medication. I'm going to call someone and ask for them to come and take your ass downtown Phoenix somewhere and let you sit with Joe Arpaio and ask him to give you some medications to sedate your ass, to calm you down, because obviously you have some issues. And this is like where me and my boyfriend, we didn't get into an argument or anything like that. We just had difference of opinion, because he works with elderly people and people with dementia and stuff like that. He has his own business and he works with these people. And he was like, you know, it's a fact that as we get older, we lose our impulse control and this, that, and the fourth. And I was like, you know, I completely understand that, and that I completely understand that, whether that's your observation from some of the people that he has taken care of over the years, or if it's scientifically proven that that happens, that's fine. But still, at the same time, it's like, okay, in my opinion, Candy still needs some boundaries there, because you don't need your mom tagging behind you on your side, and then she's going off on someone over here because she doesn't like them. There's a time and place for everything. Point blank, period. There's a time and place for everything. But I just think Mama Joyce was in the wrong. I think that Candy really needs to sit down with the situation and really need to nip it in the bud. And like, whether these accusations are true or false, whatever the case may be, I think just how Mama Joyce is going about it and putting it out there, and how she's causing all this chaos and ruckus at the end of the day, is not a good fit for Kandi, because Kandi has never really been the one to be in the middle of drama on this show anyway. And to have her mom to be out here now acting like she is all of anywhere between 16 to 24, and really haven't stepped a foot outside of Atlanta city limits, and haven't seen anything in her life, to be acting like that is just, to me, is appalling for someone of a woman of that age. I'm like, money doesn't bring class, and just because you don't have money doesn't mean you don't have class. But like, Mama Joyce is just acting like she has none whatsoever, like she has no class whatsoever. It's like all this extra ratchetness. And like I was telling my boyfriend last night, I was like, you know, this is why, just how she acted on TV, this is why you have stereotypes of black women, older black women out, and people buy into this shit like Medea. That's the same mentality of that right there. It's like, not all mature black women act like this, but it's always this stereotype is being projected on TV and stuff like that, and it's just not good at all. I just felt some type of way. It hurt me to my heart that just like, you have this woman of this age, because my mom is around that same age. My mom is knocking on 60, and I'm like, I can't imagine any situation that I could see my mom act like that. My mom act like that. And I'm embarrassed for Kandi, and that's why I'm doing this post, is that I'm embarrassed for Kandi, because to me it was a complete embarrassment. It was nothing more than just that, a complete embarrassment. And if it is the case that Mama Joyce is can't control herself and this, that, and the fourth, then again, it's like, Kandi needs to take the responsibility, as like, certain situations, certain events, certain places, I'm just not going to take my mom or allow my mom to be there. And it's just going to be that. It's not that I'm disrespecting her. It's just that you can't have that. You can't have that. It's not a good look for Kandi. Like I said, it's not a good look for her name, for who she is, for her brand, for the show. It's just not a good look. And I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. Anyway, that's just my thoughts about the whole situation. I've gone on for 18 minutes about this, and like I said, I wasn't going to go in and read Kandi's mom, but I'm just going to give my opinion, because I just feel like that she's manipulating the entire situation. When she went in about the ring, then she went in about Todd's income, about what he could provide and what he couldn't provide, and what he needs to provide. And then she, like I said, she used Kandi's daughter as a pawn, and all of this manipulation is just not, it's not cool. But anyway, this is Quentin 601. But I do wish Kandi the best. I do wish her mom the best. I wish they can work this out and move on. And because I really do want to see Kandi happy, and have someone in Kandi's life, to oppose of her just constantly grinding and hustling and making money all the time. Because like, you can make all the money you can, but at the end of the day, if you're not happy, and if you don't have anyone on your side that you're happy with and you can share all that with, then like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck even, what the fuck? You're not enjoying life, you're just existing. So anyway, that's my thought on it. This is Quentin 601. You guys leave your thoughts. Peace.